perspective, I think we've got some great observations to talk about. So here's the protocol of how we do this. We're going to have Dorothy talk first. We always have the instructor talk first, and what did she see, what did she observe, etc. And then we'll go around the table and we'll hit the highlights.
Well, I like the fact of not helping them, but then it was really hard for like when a kid was struggling and they were getting mad at me. Like I said, you know, what did you even a jerk about this? Okay, so I want to persevere. But I thought they were working really good. I liked the way that they were talking with one another. Like, you know, like when they wrote something wrong, and I would say, well, why do you know this? And then they'd say, I know the one little girl I was observing, one of the kids, and she put the first problem, she put the two angles equal to each other. So why do you know this? Why am I getting a decimal? Can we get decimals? You know, and I was like, why?
Starts thinking, by any chance are any of these the parameters? So he starts doing the 2x plus 10 equals 190. So that's why he thinks x and 10, the parameters adding up to 190. Then he says, what if they never gave you the bottom? So he scratches out the top and bottom, like, we're so close. And then this is the one time I've never felt so much like I wanted to just like help them. It's like you're saying, it's you right there. I think I need to like try to. She got a dirty eye. And then they just got frustrated. I don't know where they're getting the 190 from, and Ryan just keeps saying, dude, I'm telling you it's the perimeter. They keep saying it's the perimeter, and they kind of, that was when you said about 4 minutes to go, we're going to start sharing out, and I think at that point they just said, you know what, someone's got it, we're just going to see what they do. So they kind of hit that brick wall, and they kept punching at it.
Then they moved on to number 2. Richard just immediately goes, it's 16. And she goes, wait, no, how did you get that? And she starts writing down an equation. He just starts copying her equation. But again, he never explained to her how she got 16. She's like, no, I'm going to figure this out myself and make sure you're right. And then in the end, they both kind of talked about, they go, oh, don't we have to divide it by 2? And that was probably the first time they actually asked each other anything about it. And they said, okay, yeah, it should be 8.
The group that I observed was Nicole and Tyler. Tyler's the student who actually went up and did number 6 at the dot camp later. So they had a really good, one of the things we were looking at was dialogue, and they had a fantastic dialogue, the two of them. And I noticed there's a lot of thinking out loud. So whether it was Tyler or Nicole, they often thought out loud about what the problem was saying, and the other one would just tag right into. So they were a really nice partnership. They would just tag into what that person said. And they would, you know, if they made little mistakes here and there, but it went fast, and they'd catch the mistake really quickly, and they were like, oh my gosh, can you believe that? Or, you know, so they were really into supporting each other, and they really began every problem until I got to number 5 with marking up the diagram, stating what they were given, and then obviously number 5 isn't set up the same way, so they approached number 5 differently.
One thing that was, one specific thing that was kind of confusing to me, on question 4, they used those equilateral, like, I think they used that it was equilateral from the beginning. But then this came up when they found x equaled 4, then how did they actually find the perimeter? And so I was with Derek and Martha, and so Derek wrote out this whole expression with all the pieces of all the individual side expressions and substituted for it. And he did it correctly, he got 63, but it wasn't clear to me that he registered it as equilateral, because at that point, he still hadn't used that word. And then there was some discussion, and then he said, oh, they're equilateral. And then he wrote it here. And what that really made me think was, if I looked at this paper, because I collected it in class, but I hadn't been next to them, I would have had a completely different perception of his thought process. So that was just something I thought about.